one of the co guests. I mean, what is it called? So there are stuff like that. So that's just all I have to say. Oh.
All
You
right.
just have to make
Thank
people with
you.
strong opinion and people that will not
Exactly.
go about insulting just because they make your intelligence zero doesn't mean you should now
Should
use
not be. You should not be. You should not start
abuse
attacking
to
their personality.
interpret. I
Why?
mean
Like
to attack.
AKS is
Yeah.
here. Yes,
Okay, you say.
yes, guys. I think my guest is here. Oh my
I beg, drop me, drop me. You can
god!
drop me
Oh
now. You can
my
drop us.
Hi,
Bro,
sir. Good evening.
Andrew, why would you drop?
No, because
Madam, you know what happened now? Somebody just popped up at my door, and I don't know. I'm just having a visitor that didn't tell me he was coming. This is just strange. I
okay.
would have gone on my program, but I've been waiting for your 6 o'clock, only for somebody to just turn up at the door. He's with my wife. Me, I don't know this kind of thing. How somebody will just appear from nowhere.
Up here. Good evening, sir. I was
So
actually
let's
because
do
I didn't hear from you
the little we can do before he
before
comes.
he goes. Okay, sir. Because I
Just
didn't hear from
let's be
you,
PG,
I
just
actually.
no. I don't. Hence, I told you yes. I knew I was going to make it, but there's somebody just here now, which looks strange to me. I was just here watching, and I saw somebody coming in front of the house. So it's
Okay, sir. Okay. All right, so thank you so much for coming. I appreciate.
no worries.
I was actually, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you
I
came.
mean, you invited me twice now, so I can't just I can't tell you that I'll be coming, and then all of a sudden I just not come. It's not professional. It's disrespectful as well. So
Thank you
why
so much.
why did
Thank
I
you.
do?
And there's one thing I admire so much about you is the fact that you hold strong Africa values, our values as humans, not just African, and you're still very respectful. Like like a lot of times I come to your platform, I see a lot of people try to want to disrespect you, being opposite of what you say, and they say some comment, but you really don't go out to them the way we would see some arrogant men
No,
doing.
see,
So how do you maintain such
no.
composure? How do you?
When I started the platform, I was like that. But over time, I'm dealing with the public. You have to respect people's opinions, and there's something. TikTok is the best platform I've been on. In as much as it shapes you to become a person, it shapes you to. I host a large platform. People come, with different views. I've got strong views myself, and many women come to abuse you. So what I've just realized is that if you allow people to abuse you online, that is giving them so much power over you. So if you come online and allow someone to abuse you and you start exchanging words, start shouting, you're giving that person so much power over you. So I don't entertain that. So many people have, like, there are people who have come, like, for the past 1 week, they've been abusing me in the comment section. So
I do see it.
a way to glorify them is to respond to them. So what I've done is that I decided to ignore them. And if you ignore them after abusing you for a long time, they just stop. So that's I've just realized that it's too much power to give to someone.
To give
To
to someone.
I won't
Wow.
do that. I won't do that
And,
again.
and I've actually learned that from you, sir, because I actually used to be like, things irritate me when you hear some people say some things and you're like, yeah, is this person coming from? You're irritated. But when each time I come and I see a lot of things on your comment section, you are not responding. I'm always there watching. You don't even pay attention to them. I'm like, wow, I wish.
I don't get enough money on TikTok to begin to exchange words with people. I'm an Igbo man. It's all about money for us. Though it's not about money, I'm here for the change that we're making. Trying to help people who have problems. I attract good energy. People come, different types of people come, and I understand that everybody will hold an opinion. What I do is that I've created a platform where I can accommodate everyone's views. People don't have to be me. I don't have to be them. I only get annoyed if people try to make me to become them. But you just have to accommodate everybody. And again, don't give people that kind of power to a point where people now try to ruffle you up. And so it used to happen initially, but now I don't. I see the comments, I do see them, But if I don't give you that energy, I don't think you're going to feed off it. So I ignore you.
Okay, sir, please, you have to give us 30 minutes, sir. We won't take
I
more
don't
than
know.
that. I have a couple of
It depends on
questions.
this man that just came here. Honestly, this one, this strange. I just see somebody they come through. Going there with my wife for the other side. So let me see. But that's why I said let's just continue.
Okay, sir. A quick question I want to ask. I watch a lot of your videos, and couple of them. You always mention this word, "Men lead your home, lead your home." So I want you to explain to us, how can a man lead his family without being controlling? An African man, precisely.
Okay, man has to be controlling. You have to control your space. You have to be in charge of your space. Control doesn't mean oppression. Control. I mean, people have just words, and every word now has to be sensitive. How can you lead in a home that you don't control? You have to control the space, control your wife, control your children, control the dynamics of the home. Control is not oppression. Control is not suppression. We are all happy to work under financial controllers, project controllers. I studied project control I have a certification in project control. It's not a bad thing. You have to be in charge. You have to be in charge of your space. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a man, setting boundaries of how his home has to run. You are the priest of the home. You are the spiritual leader, the moral leader, and the general leader, the financial leader of your home. You are the disciplinarian. Therefore, you need to control the dynamics, the oppressions, that happen in your home, so that your children. Again, remember the reason why we get married. People should not forget the reason why we get married. We get married to have children and create a structured environment where children can grow up. Anybody can have children outside. You don't need to get married to have children. But when you marry, you marry because you want to create a legal structure, legitimate structure where children can grow up to become balanced adults. That's just what it is. So yeah, I mean, if I like you, I see you, I like you're beautiful, you can take it from me, have a child. I don't need to marry you. But having a structure where children can grow up balanced, where there is discipline, where there is order, where there is focus, then that's what the home for is. Home there. So therefore, if you look at the way it's like, each time you see me, it's either this is my own lounge, this is my lounge. The place I normally stay is my office. My wife has her own lounge over there, and that is where she stays with the children. So she spends most of the time with the children. There has to be an authority in the home that if I come in, like she can be saying things so many times, but once I come in there and say, you go upstairs, you go to sleep, you go to bed, you turn off your computer, you go and help your mom, it's one touch.
Everybody listening.
Everybody listens. So there has to be that primary, because mom is very close to them every time. Everything just
They get used to.
They get used to her. They don't really respect her. Sometimes I'll go and tell your dad. The moment she says it, I come there and it's one touch instruction. Again, my wife makes them to understand that I am the authority figure in the home. My wife makes them to understand that I am in charge of the home.
But sir, is that not a bit dicey? Don't you think that could make them see you differently? Like, because most of in our African home, we see sometimes we see our fathers as terrifying figures that we don't really have that emotional connection with our fathers, but all we have is this authority figure that comes and orders everybody around, and that's it.
No, I have a very good relationship with my children. I mean, if you see them, I show them on TikTok.
Yeah, I saw your daughter today.
Let me show you. This one has come here. What has he come? Watch. Okay. Rapper. See? Did I call him? He just came. Rapper. Yeah. Okay. What do I do? Okay, so I didn't call him. He just came into the lounge now. You see? He saw I was talking with you. So I still have a relationship with them. Very good relationship with them. But again, they understand boundaries. They understand discipline. So I showed you now that it happened naturally. I didn't need to...
yeah. So a quick question for you. Somebody sent, you preached about polygamy. Can you educate us on how Africans abroad can walk around that sector of polygamy?
I don't encourage, I don't push for polygamy. I don't tell anybody to practice polygamy. That's not my teaching. All I'm trying to tell you is that it is our culture. It is our culture. We need to understand who we are. I'm not married to two wives. I have one wife. I don't have a concubine at the moment. I don't know the last time I had a concubine. So I don't have any. Okay. But again, it is our culture. It is who we are. The reason people just run with what they want to run with. Many people are leaving marriages for flimsy excuses. Yeah. One of them is what they call cheating. You know, as Niger be, we for Niger, there's nothing like a faithful girlfriend. Yeah, we grew up in an environment where a guy will have 20 girlfriends, trooping guys. It's something that you have to be happy about. People can't just come all of a sudden from Nigeria, they come here and they become saints. So
Exactly.
people don't need to leave their marriages because of that. It is part of who we are in our society. But what happens is when you come to a place like this, you begin to unlearn. Yeah, you begin to unlearn in the society because ladies won't want to befriend you and things like that. You begin to unlearn, but people should understand that back home, this is what it is. There's nothing called cheating in Africa. That's number one. Number two, the idea of polygamy. It is our culture. I'm not. If not for some reasons, I don't need another wife. I have 4 children. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. I'm okay. But for some reason, based on my own retirement back home, I might consider marrying another wife just for that reason, for having children back home. But outside that, I don't need another wife. I'm happy. I'm a very happy man in terms of marriage. I'm really, really happy with my wife.
No, it's obvious. It's obvious. You could see it on your children. I saw your pretty daughter today. I think you said she was almost 13. Even taller than you. That girl is very pretty. So it's obvious that you're happy. So I want to ask this question, sir. I heard you in your platform a few days ago correct a lady that was trying to tell you that in our culture in Africa, she's from Igbo. She said men are providers. They provide and protect. And you were trying to correct her that where did she get that ideology from? You gave a little story regarding that, but I want you to educate us on that. What do you mean? Are men not supposed to be
I'm not going to go
the
into the
sole
concept.
providers?
I just want to rush it because before this man will come in here. So I don't want to talk about provision. See, when you get married, what you've done is that you've accepted to live with someone. You've accepted to bring everything into the home. So this idea of provider and not provider is just, for me, is pure madness. When you come into marriage, when you want to knock, you bring all your body. When you want to, I don't know why people are talking money. Let me start from money. Money is an enabler of marriage. What has money got to do with me? Like I've always told my story, when I came to the UK, I was a big boy in Nigeria, I had money. But when you come here, you step down and start. I came to do masters in 2008. I was living in a 1-bedroom house, 1-bedroom flat with my wife. We rented the bedroom and lived in the lounge. Yeah, from 2 bed we went from 1 room, call it 1 room. We went to 2 bed. From 2 bed we went to buy our own house. From our own house now we bought a much bigger house. And and what happens is I have my own lounge. My wife has her own lounge. The children have their own rooms. What does money do? What has money and education? So how am I able to get from that point to here? It's education. Yeah, education is not for bragging. Education is for you to improve yourself and get better jobs or do better business. So the more I got educated, the more God opened doors for me. And you continue growing in your career. As you're growing in your career, you earn more money. And this money helps you. Like I'm just coming back from church, and we went into a Range Rover shop to just go and see, okay, I've been wanting to buy a Range Rover. I don't have the money, but let me just go and see what it looks like. You know what? I went to the dealership. So this is what money can do for you. I don't have the money, but I'm dreaming. I've gone into check to have an idea. Okay, let me look at these cars close by. See, that is what money does. Money has made our lives better. Okay, when I came newly, I couldn't buy a Ralph Lauren shirt. Versace was Gucci belt. I couldn't do those things, but I can buy them now. That is what the only thing money. I could buy my wife clothes of how much pounds I want to buy for her. That's what money does. Money does not determine the leadership of the home. And if you're married, both of you, it's 100%. Everything you bring into the home. There's nothing like 50-50. I've never discussed percentage with my wife for 17 years. We don't do percentage. The way we do whatever I want, whatever she wants to buy in the house, she buys. If it's TV, she buys. If she wants to buy, like I've just told her, our vacuum cleaner spoiled. I said I want to buy. She say she ordered it yesterday. Yeah, she ordered the vacuum cleaner, the robot one. She ordered the new one because the one she bought, we returned it. She said, as far as I was just telling her now, this place is dirty. We need to buy it. He said, oh no, I bought it already. That's what money for. The children wore some t-shirts today in church. I said, we came back and they were still wearing it. She told them they wanted to play football outside. She said, go and remove these things. I bought them 20 pounds. I said, I don't know when she bought it. She doesn't, I don't know if you get what I mean. She doesn't tell me. I don't know. So
And you don't have a problem with she not taking permission from you to buy things that you need in the house.
no, those shirts are not worth 20 pounds. They are just like probably 10 pounds. So for me, I wouldn't have bought. I told her, please, before you buy something like that next time, let me know. But she buys these things, I see where she puts money into. I don't need to start asking. The house we're living in, she brought half of the deposit, and I'm talking about tens of thousands of pounds. So I'm not talking about. So I don't know why people are just really making money an issue. The percentage you're keeping, is it for what? So this idea of provision.
No.
So you people are in a marriage, you're married, yeah. You contribute together and make your lives better. Okay, like our car now, we have only one car at the moment. So the car we're driving, she changed the tires the last time. She spent over £1,000, tires and everything. She paid. What is all these things? We go to a shop. We go to shop, maybe like Costco, buy things, wholesale. We spend £900. She pays. If I bring anybody who brings out the card first pays. All these things people are just talking about money provision. For me, it's a joke, honestly. Is that not my food now? Come, yeah. Michelle, close it after I eat, okay? Close it.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right, sir. There's this narrative that is making wave on TikTok that some men keep saying they don't want women that are more educated than them as wives because they feel they're intimidating. They don't have respect. What's your take on that?
I don't, like I've always, I said it, education is an enabler of marriage. And education is an enhancer of marriage. Education does not, you see, there's a problem with Africans, yeah? Or with, Africans. You come on my platform, you hear women say, you mean I'm a registered nurse, I'm a nurse practitioner, I hold a PhD. Bullshit, means nothing. Education is in the application. What education does is to give you the courage, the confidence with which you're doing what you're doing here at the moment. That's what education is for. Education is in the application of your skills, your technical skills, your social skills, and your commercial skills. You don't need technical skills at home. You don't need to brag with your PhD. It is in the application. You bring social skills to the home to make yourself better, to make your marriage better. Simple. You live to bring your education home to manage, to have a better relationship with your partner or your husband. Education should make you more humble, not make you proud. When you have more social skills, you deal with everybody, you adjust yourself to deal with everybody. But the problem is that our Africans, they believe the more they put, I don't know why somebody is putting PhD on TikTok, Dr. This on TikTok, nurse this, RN this. What value are you getting from this nonsense? Putting flag of countries. What is the value of that flag you're putting on TikTok? Africans are vain people. Tell me what the flag of Canada, the flag of the UK, flag of Germany, what is he doing on your profile? What is that RN on TikTok? Dr. This. We need to find out that you're a doctor by the way you carry yourself, by the things that come out of your mouth, by how you talk intelligently, not by the title you put. I don't need to respect you because you have a doctor. You have a doctor beside your name. I want to know who you are by the application of the skills. Education should make you better. Now, our Nigerian women, you hear them talk about doctor, PhD, RN, nurse practitioner. Now, what's the value? I need to see that you behave, like somebody who is educated. Now, these same women or men who do these things, they can manage one man. The education didn't give you the social skills to manage your wife, to manage your husband. But you keep on talking down on your mother, who competed with 11, 20, 19 other women to manage her husband, did not fight these women. You have more degrees than a thermometer will have. Yet you don't have the social skills to manage one man. Just one man. So what is that your education for? Education gives you the ability to adjust, to go high when somebody goes low, to go low, to adjust yourself, to have relationships with people. But with all your PhD, with all your masters, with all of that thing, you can't even manage a man or manage a woman. So if until Africans understand that education is not a bragging tool, it is something for you to acquire social skills. The only thing you need to bring to the home are your social skills and a little of your commercial skills. Leave your technical skills at work. Hey, Babs, Alpha. People invited, come, babe, come in. A lady invited me to a program by. No, come, nothing now.
You make TikTok videos, so we
No, be TikTok video. The lady invited me for a program by 6 p.m. So you did now. You never begin going. Yeah, they now. Nothing. Better finish with them and we'll come to you.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that's the guy. You know, tell me saying they come.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you. Okay, so how do you encourage our young couples, because you have been married for 70 years? How do you encourage, especially our African men, sir? Because I'm focusing on our African, because we ladies that are with this African men, we are having challenges with them. How do you encourage them to handle argument or disagreement in their home without tearing down the whole family?
okay. You know, you people marry handsomeness. Oh, he handsome. He talks well. He speaks well. He's educated. People no longer marry for, where does she come from? Who is she? What is the family background? I mean, you no longer do due diligence in marrying. He has money. That's all. He lives abroad. You don't do any due diligence. You just marry people. Number one, see, family background is very, very important. The family the person comes from, very, very important. Family background, their culture. So one of the problems we're having are cultural values. Yeah. Culture is very, very important. Family values important. Go and learn the family dynamics. Now, for example, broken homes. If you're marrying a girl from a broken home, you should have the capability to manage someone from a broken home. The dynamics will not be the same. The behaviors will not be the same. A broken home includes a home where the man has been toppled, where the man has been feminized, and the woman is leading. That's also a broken home. Any home where the woman has become the head of the family is also a broken home. So you need to make sure that you have the skills to manage such a person. I don't know if you get what I mean. So you don't just marry people who you do not have. No, if the father left the mom or the mother left the father, that's a massive red flag. But I'm not saying you shouldn't marry the person. Make sure that within you have the capability to manage such a person. Yeah, because the father wasn't there, so the person will lack masculinity. So there will be deficiencies in the person. So all you need to do is to know that you need to be that kind of person to provide, to be a bit tolerant, to allow the person to catch up. Yeah. So people need to understand: do you have the capability to manage somebody from a broken home? And like I said, a broken home includes the one where the man is no longer leading, the wife is leading. And for those that are not yet married, for the guys that are not yet married, any family you get into, the man, you sit down, the man sits down, the wife just sits immediately, and you ask a question, the woman jumps in and starts talking. She's the head of the family. That's a sign. Anywhere you go to, and she just jumps in and starts talking. You're asking questions. She jumps in and starts talking. She is the head of the family. Like for me now, if my wife doesn't know you, and a visitor comes, my wife will not near where we are. She won't come in unless I call her to come. So know who you're marrying. Do due diligence. That's number one. Know if the mother is controlling the father. Know if what they suffer from in their home. Know if they can stay married. Are they violent people? Is the mother promiscuous? Is the father a violent man? Do the sisters stay married in their marriages? Do the brothers violate women? These are the things that you need to find out. You don't just jump in and marry people and because they have money or they appear well. Ask questions. Who is this person? I've talked about family background. I've talked about culture, the societal culture, behavioral patterns. You need to watch this person, how she talks to people on a repeated basis, not just once. Consistency of behavior, behavioral patterns. How she speaks to gate men, people like waitresses, her friends, what she says about others. You just need to watch the pattern of communication. You also need to watch her consistency of character. You know, does she have integrity? Is she trustworthy? Is she faithful? Is she somebody that is reliable? You need to watch out for these things.
So how do you know? Do you ask the person
No, you be
question, or you
watching,
just you start
observe.
dating, and in the process of dating you
You
begin to
observe,
observe?
you observe, you be seeing these
Okay.
things. You see these things, you see how respectful she is. Then you need to have marry a man with a vision as well. Where is he leading you to? Where is he leading you? What is his vision? Interrogate the vision. What about the plan? You tell me we're going to move to America in the next 5 years. How do we achieve that? How are we going to achieve that? So you need to ask this, and these are called this is called compatibility checks. You have to carry out compatibility checks. And how do you carry out compatibility checks? You do due diligence. Yeah. Then if you do all these things and you find out that you can tick all these persons, then you can say, yes, I will marry you.
But sir, a quick question, sir. With this due diligence, it means I have to date the guy, get to know him, and all those process. Won't that be me having to date too much? What if I have 2, 3, 4 that I find out these things and I have to leave them? Won't that be too much?
Men control marriage, women control knacking. Men control marriage, women control knacking. Who you want to open your legs for is who you open legs for. They won't, and if he insists on having sex with you, when you say no, I'm not going to do it, he's also not interested in marriage. So if you say no, I don't want to knack, so you can still be dating, you can still be doing. If he begins to force you or trick you, then it's not your husband. So he needs to be patient if that is what you want, and go out with him, hang out with him, watch carefully, see his behaviors, get people to to set him up sometimes for people to annoy him and see how he will react. Yeah, do some of those things and find out, carry out compatibility checks. People marry people because he lives abroad or she lives abroad or she's this so person's son. You don't know the person you married, so you just need to date this person. I didn't date my wife, but I knew my auntie who recommended her to my mom knew her family. I knew her mom, but not like close. I used to see her. She used to work in a general hospital near us, but my auntie worked with the mom. So my auntie continued telling me about her. So it was easy. Even when I went there, when I saw her the first time, I knew, yeah, okay, I'm okay with this person. So, but it's also not easy. You find out things that you wouldn't have liked later. But just do a little dating, find out who this person is before jumping into marriage, because most of the things would have been avoided if you did due diligence.
Okay,
Then in the
sir.
marriage,
You said
let me answer the second part of the question.
okay.
In the second part of the marriage, which means somebody you marry should be somebody you can respect, somebody you should look up to. Okay, because you can't learn respect in the marriage, you can't learn to respect the person in the marriage. So if it's somebody you can respect, it becomes easier for you to see him as your elder brother or see him as your big brother or your father even. Yeah, because you used to respect the person. So women should marry people that they respect.
Like people, by age, did you bring age into the bracket, or age shouldn't
Yeah,
also be
I've seen
considered?
many women come on my platform say they're having problems with their husbands, and they say we're age mates, which means, and you ask them, they'll tell you, yeah, they see them as age mates. Marry somebody who is slightly older than you. At least that helps you to just look at, okay, I know you're older than me, I will respect you a little. Marry somebody who is slightly older than you. That's my suggestion. Yeah, even if it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, someone older than you, and someone you can look up to. You guys, you don't look down. Because if you look up, you don't see
Exactly.
him there. You don't see him there. You get attracted to another man you see up there.
You see
So,
up there, yeah.
so women should actually Josh, I'm not arguing with you. You can say what you want, but I know what I'm saying. So marry somebody who is. I've run this program for long, and I've seen so many women. And one of the things, if you ask them, they'll tell you, I see him as my age mate. So marry someone who is slightly older than you. That helps. But marry someone you can respect.
Okay, sir. Sir, I heard you talk about we live in a generation where women tell men how
Guys,
to be leaders.
guys, so that people can join our platform. Tap. Yeah.
I heard you talk about how we live in a generation where women
Just
tell
one
men
second.
how to lead.
1 second.
So okay. Guys, don't forget you can send you can ask questions, right, guys? This is Blessings Podcast. You can always ask your questions. So if you have any question, either you send request or you type it in the comment section. Okay.
Okay, sister, go ahead. Go for it. Go for it.
All right. I said I watched a video where you said we live in a generation where ladies tell men how to lead in their in a home. So I need to explain two questions I want to get from that. Does that say a woman can't tell her husband what to do? Or a woman shouldn't tell her husband what to do? And secondly, we also live in a generation where we have men that don't know how to lead in a home. That the woman is clearly saying that this man is leading us to destruction. So what should such a woman do? She should just allow the man lead all of them to the pit.
Okay, number one, you can't run a home without your wife having an input. It's not possible. Marriage is teamwork, but in a team, there's a leader. Yeah. So, I mean, men, any good man will want the wife's input. I don't do anything for me. I don't buy a light like this without my wife approving. In fact, she went and the day I bought it, she went and brought it, carried it from the shop. Yeah. So I don't do anything without my wife getting involved. Because, but number one, she has proven herself that she came to marry me. She respects me. Okay. So because she respects me, she obviously there are serious things she want to buy. She will consult me first, So your wife, I mean, it's a teamwork. Your wife has a brain. It's a grown-up adult. If not, you wouldn't marry her. So you should be listening to her opinion. She has an opinion and she brings her opinion, which helps you in making decisions. Sometimes her opinion should override yours as well. Like if you look at it that she brings, if you're a leader, she brings superior opinion. Why wouldn't you accept her superior opinion? You accept her superior opinion. And that's how it should be. Now, the problem is that the ladies we're talking about are the ladies who now want to redefine the structure of marriage. Okay, they want to tell you that the man is no longer the leader of the home, that marriage is about shared leadership, that they cannot submit to a man, and these are the women that will tell you how to talk, how to lead your own children, how to behave, and so we call that the feminization of men. Yeah. They want you to talk like a woman. They want you to act like a woman. So number one, your wife is your team member. You're in a team, but you're the leader of the team, and she should have a voice. My wife has a voice. But in terms of telling men what to do, now this is what I tell young men from the beginning of the marriage. Your wife has to buy into your vision for the marriage. No if, no but. You don't need to change your vision for your wife at the beginning of the marriage. You're making her a proposal. Say, come and join me on this journey. Yeah. If she wants to join you, she has to join you. But don't change your vision to accommodate her vision. If her vision aligns with yours, merge it. At the beginning, that is at the beginning of the marriage, merge the vision. It's just like you're going to America, she wants to go to China. If she can't join you to America, don't marry her. Because that is the first test of loyalty. But if she's going to Canada, I say, okay, fine, we can go to America and touch where it's just America. Not America, we can finish here and go here. You can integrate her vision. But if her vision lies opposite to yours from the beginning, or at the beginning of the marriage, discard her. If she cannot drop hers and join yours. A good man, when she accepts to join you to America, that is a test of loyalty. When you come into the marriage, you can now say, okay, you are join me. What do you want to do in China? Okay, let's go to China. But at the beginning of the marriage, you cannot jettison your vision. You don't listen to her. You are inviting her to a dinner. She doesn't have to choose the venue. It's a guest at the beginning of the marriage. At the beginning, her test of loyalty, her first test of loyalty is submitting to your leadership at the beginning. You can't change your vision. The moment you change your vision, you start losing your marriage. That's number one. Number two, you asked me a second question about what was the second one again?
The men that don't know how to lead.
Okay, now I don't blame the man, I blame you. You can't choose a man who cannot lead you. So women must take responsibility when they choose men who cannot lead. You know, you can't continue blaming others. You chose a man because maybe you were interested in how he looks, how tall he looks, six pack, how amount of money. You didn't test his leadership. Number one, you remember the first time I told you, does he have a vision? A woman must question, where are you leading me to? Not just verbally, where are you leading me to? What are your plans for achieving that? So when you marry a man who you know, you ignore the most salient points, you ignore the most important things, and you just went in with any man, and later you start shouting, "Wolf, why should I submit to him?" We don't have pity for you. It was your decision. Live with it and deal with it. So women must do their due diligence and ask the necessary questions at the beginning. Then number two as well, it's not just about the man's leadership. Many of these women that are peddling this narrative do no longer believe that a man should lead them. They believe that they should be co-leaders. So it's not just about men. When many of them that come and say that men don't lead are women who do not want to submit to the leadership of their husbands, and they come up with all these narratives. But again, if you marry a man and sometime in the marriage you say, "Oh, I can't lead," obviously you need to be questioned. However,
Kunamina, send your request.
however, if the man cannot lead, it's possible that during the marriage the man can stop leading. Your job is not to topple the man. Your job is not to run a parallel government. Your job, remember that your job is to support your husband. Your job is to go in there and support him. It is one team to make your husband look better for the benefit of the family. You don't run a parallel government. You don't topple him. Your job is to support him. Now, there are other instances where maybe he's a gambler or he's using money recklessly. That is the point at which you can protect yourself and protect the family. Yeah? If there are situations whereby the man is abusing funds, gambling or living recklessly, I think, yeah, you can protect yourself. But if the man at that point is not, maybe things have gone south, his investment failed or something like that, your job is not to topple him and start taking leadership decisions. Your job is to strengthen him, which is the job of a woman is to make the husband better by supporting and complimenting him. So your job is to make him look better, to strengthen him so that he can still continue leading. But unfortunately, many women just run a coup. Like my brother said, they run a coup and start, running a parallel government.
So we have a question for you from somebody. She's coming up. Guys, you can ask question, okay? Send in your request and you have opportunity to ask him question. Hi, Queen Amina, go ahead with your question.
Hi, good evening, Blessing. Good evening, Uncle X. I have a question, right, that I want to ask. I think I've heard you a couple of times
Let me
on
turn
your...
off the heater. Let me turn off the heater, please.
Okay.
Did you turn off the heater, please? I'm dying here. Who is upstairs? Go to your room, Michelle. There could be light in your room. Go and turn off the light in your room.
Guys, we are still tapping. Come on, help me tap and share the live, okay?
Okay, sister, ask your question.
Queen Amina, go ahead.
Sorry, now there's a bit of noise. So yes, the question that I wanted to ask you, I think I've heard you on your live stream a couple of times that you believe in patriarchal marriage, right? So I was wondering if you can enlighten us and just tell us like a few benefits of like having or running patriarchal marriage.
Okay, all over the world, even before civilization came, a man has always married a woman. Before civilization came to us, before we could connect from, before the man in Abia State could connect to the man in Imo State, before the man from here, Benue State could connect to the man in Abuja, before Americans could come here, a man has always been the head of the family. A man has always married a woman. If you also look at animals, you have the lion and the lioness. You see the fowls, you see the fowl and the hen. You see the goat, you see the he goat and she goat. Therefore, you've always seen this kind of arrangement. That is patriarchy. The man has always been the head of the family. Every society in the world was created by a man. Just look at it. There's no society that was not created by a man. Even before we started globalizing, before you start interconnecting societies or connecting societies, you find out that the man has always been the head of the family everywhere in the world. If you go to the mountains, if you go to all these places, all these people where there are no, where you have, people that have not, where modern day civilization has not got to, they are still patriarchal. So the man has always been the leader. So I don't understand the question. The question is that I've explained it before. A man brings order, discipline, structure, and focus, brings balance to the lives of the children. And that is what a marriage is patriarchal. Brings order. Whatever partnership started coming with Queen Victoria, where the men went to World War I and women began to take care of families, and with the woman becoming the queen, such rights began to happen. But if you want your family to work, your husband has to be the leader. And remember, any creature with two heads is a monster. There is no organization in the world or any entity where there is no clear leader, and the man is the leader. And that is what the man brings discipline, balance, order, structure, brings focus to the lives of the children. The man creates the right, enables the right balance of masculinity and femininity in the lives of his children. And maybe probably that's why, if you don't have it, again, you don't even need to be told the advantages. Go and look at data. Look at America. 75% of rapists are from single mother homes. 85% of young people in prisons are from single mother homes. Up to 90% of prison inmates are from single mother homes. Over 70% of school shooters are from single mother homes. Over 75% of people in drug abuse centers, drug rehabilitation centers, are from single mother homes. That tells you the importance of a father. And if you look at families, research has also shown that there is no much difference between a child that was born in terms of success in life, or aversion to crime, between a child raised by a single father and a child raised in double parental. So statistics don't lie. You come to the UK, 75% of prison inmates, young people in prison, all come from single mother homes, which means the absence of a father. And a girl who is raised by a single mother is 5 times or 13 even time, I think 13 or 5 times likely to have a teenage pregnancy than a girl raised in a double parental. So the absence of a father in a child's life, go to South London. We don't need to talk about it. If you live in England, every day, every week in South London, a young man is unalive. Many of them Nigerians. Go and look at their history. They don't have a father. So we don't need to. So I've just given you the advantage by even telling you consequences. The father brings order, authority, balance, structure, and discipline, focus to the lives of his children. I mean, if you want to know what a father does, he's the authority figure, the disciplinarian, the moral leader, the spiritual leader. He's the mentor, the guidance counselor, the financial advisor. It helps children develop healthy, emotions. You can't just, I don't need to continue talking about it. Therefore, a man has to be a leader in the home to bring balance and order in the lives of the children.
Thank you, sir. And sir, I want to quickly ask this last question that I have, guys. If you have any more question, you can send it in, okay? My last question, sir. What's your take on a man helping his wife with house chores? Because that has been a huge problem on TikTok. So I really want us to learn that.
Okay, there's no job in life that doesn't have roles and responsibilities. A conductor has his roles and has his role and responsibilities. A driver has his role and responsibilities. Marriage has roles and responsibilities. A husband and a wife. So most of these people arguing these things are married women. They are not wives. If a wife is a married woman, but if every wife is a married woman, but not every married woman is a wife. Most of the people making these arguments are just married women. They are not wives. Wife is a job role. It's a role with behavioral expectations, with tangible and non-tangible expectations or requirements. So when you come into a marriage, you know you have a role. You have a role to play. There is something you're expected to do. There is no job that we do. Cleaning, they give you job description. I've never seen a job in this world where there is no job description. So married women, women who are not ready to be wives, go on about this whole thing. Now, what do you expect from a wife? A wife is married, but getting married doesn't make you a wife. Getting married, just being married doesn't make you a wife. Divine, no. Divine, no, no, no. Daddy said no. Daddy said no now. Daddy said no. Daddy said no. No. Daddy said no. Okay. Thank you. Daddy said no. Okay. So sorry, my 2-year-old. So your role as a wife is to come in. You've selected a man based on the man meeting your expectations after conducting your due diligence, your compatibility checks. You're happy with this man. Your job is to submit. That is to follow him and to show him certain behavior. Okay, listen to this. I'm going to answer you in this way. So when you come in, you follow the man to achieve the vision. You support him to achieve the vision he sold to you at the beginning. You accepted his plan. That's why you accepted to marry him. Then you come in. What do you do to him? You respect his authority. You respect his boundaries. You become agreeable. You compromise. You communicate effectively. You listen to him. You challenge where you're supposed to challenge. You show him loyalty with your body and your resources, faithfulness. You care for him, which includes taking care of his physical needs, his oral needs, and his sexual needs. You do these things. Yeah? You give him peace. You honor him. What is the man supposed to give you back? The man gives you results from the vision he gave to you at the beginning. He gives you results from that vision, which will influence you to continue submitting to him. And if you're this good woman, the man will still give you the same respect. If you do your role, remember when you do all I've talked about, you become a wife. When you submit to the leadership of a man, you become a wife. And as you're doing it, a responsible man will give you the same energy. You respect him, he will respect you. You're loyal to him, he will be loyal to you. You honor him, he will honor you. You care for him, he will care for you from a masculine perspective. What is he supposed to do? To provide for you, provide leadership, which include moral, spiritual, financial leadership. He protects you and your children and the future. He procreates with you and gets involved in raising your children. And he makes you better, improves you. You do your role. If you do your role, your husband will support you. But many of the ladies don't do their roles. They use emotional blackmail. They use emotional blackmail and manipulation. And you see, there's a problem is that many of our Africans have refused to carry out their responsibilities. You carry out your responsibilities and you don't do your responsibilities and you talk about love. What is love? Love is work. What is work? Marriage is work. Marriage is work. Marriage is responsibilities. You come into a marriage. What makes someone love you at work, anywhere you go to, is your ability to fulfill your duties. Simple. You come into marriage, fulfill your duties, your tangible and not tangible duties towards your husband, and your husband will return the same energy. If your husband returns the same energy, he becomes a husband. If he doesn't return the same energy, he's not a husband. So people come into marriage, they want people to love them. What is that love? They talk about the French feeling. You expect a man to take you on a night date or date night, whatever you call it. You expect a man to take you to go and watch the flowers, watch trees and all those things. But you're not doing your responsibilities as a wife. So if you do your responsibility, look at you. You're happy now that I came. Why are you happy? I honored your invitation. Is that not what it is? I honored your invitation, and you're feeling happy towards me. Your body is secreting some hormones that are making you happy. That is what marriage is all about. Come into the marriage, you accepted to marry this man. Come in and do your job, and the man will reciprocate the same things to you. And as you people are reciprocating towards each other, you find out that love happens. Love is not it's not feelings that emanate from nowhere. People mistake attraction for attraction for love. It's not love. Love has to come from you fulfilling your responsibilities. And now you talked about a man helping his wife. As you're submitting to the leadership of the man, you're respecting his boundaries, you're loyal to him. It's easy for you to for the man, for you to even tell the man, oh honey, I need help. Yeah, he jumps in and does it. Now let me tell you, I'm a very strong person. If there's anybody that's difficult, I'm difficult. But in my home, we have no responsibilities now. I don't have anything that my wife will do. That the only thing I don't do is cooking to protect my wife. I don't cook just to protect her. But you know what I did? I said, don't do anything for me. You have 4 children, or you have 3 children at that point. I said, don't be doing anything for me. I'll do all my things. But just the only thing I need from you is food. Just make sure that at least you look after the children, do the much you can do. So over time, it became, as she continued to do her role as a wife, it became easier for me. We don't have anybody that cleans the house. There's no responsibility of somebody who cleans the house. I clean my house. In fact, I clean the house more than her. The only thing that I don't do is washing the bathroom and toilets. But I clean the house. I bath my children, I dress them up, I take them to. We don't have anybody that will take children to school or football. Anybody that is chance. If you wake up early and you wake the children up, we only have one person that we can take. The other people go to school by themselves. They're secondary school. So I take anybody that wakes up. If she's busy, oh daddy, I'm not chance now. Can you take Louis to football? Can you take him to swimming? We don't have roles. Over time, if you come in and behave as a wife, fulfill your duties as a wife, my dear, there is no man that will not see you when you're struggling. The man will pay more attention to what you're doing and reciprocate the same energy. Like I told you, we don't have lines of response apart from cooking. Like I said, cooking is to protect my wife. That's why I tell her, you must cook for me. I left my home in 91 to go to senior secondary school. In 1991, I went to senior secondary school. I didn't live with my parents again till today. Since 1991 till today, when I went to SS, I've never lived with them again. I know how to cook. But I just want it to be that there's something she does for me. You get what I mean? That there's something she does for me. She doesn't need to do anything for me. I do all my things. I don't ask her to do coffee for me or do anything for me. I do all my things. Don't wash clothes for me. I do my things. But just to protect her. But how did I notice it?
Guys, I hope you're learning. New generational men, I hope you're learning. Good evening, be yourself.
So I noticed that she was always stressed with, she works the way I work. So if she does if she fulfills her responsibility towards you, you notice it's easy. Oh, daddy, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? I jump in. In fact, now that I know, now that we for a couple of years I've been working from home, I then see what her day looks like. I jump in and I do what I'm supposed to do. But the problem with these ladies you're talking about is you begin to lose your marriage any day you call your husband, come, let's discuss how we're going to cook, how we're going to clean the house. Do the thing, the man will see you. If you're struggling, you use a good way to communicate to him. When I'm struggling with this, do you want to? He will help you. In fact, let me tell you, I don't call it help. I call everything I do in the house as fulfilling my responsibilities towards my home. I'm not helping my wife. If those of you that know me, my little daughter is always with me. I look after her in the whole day. But my wife is still at home, but she stays with me most of the time. I feed her, I bath her. So what is? I don't. It's my child. I'm not doing it my wife any favor. But remember that my wife is loyal with her money. Is loyal with her money. She pays for almost. I mean, we don't have anybody that buy this or buy that. She does whatever she's supposed to do. I'm seeing it.
Okay.
Whatever she wants to do, whatever she asks me, I mean, whatever to help my family, I help. But remember, those women you're talking about, they don't believe that marriage has roles and responsibilities. Remember that you earn. Hold on with this. Hold on with this. You earn. You have to earn whatever you have to get in a marriage. When the man marries you, number one, you come under him. When you start fulfilling certain responsibilities, the man looks at you and say, "Wow, this woman is good." The man gives you partnership. After some time, he looks at you. You're a very great woman. You're doing what you're supposed to do. He gives you independence. It's a journey. He gives you independence. After some time, the man now looks at you. She's respectful. She's doing everything she's supposed to do. My wife is good in some areas. Why don't I give her leadership in that area while I submit to her in that area? It is the journey. But many of these young ladies come into marriage, they want to be independent from day one. It doesn't work. Do your duty and your husband, and talk to your husband nicely. Make him understand what you're going through. He will jump in and help you or support you. That's my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Daniel, please go ahead with your question. I'm just wondering how ladies still get to disagree with you with everything you're saying is amazing.
Is what I want to also say, bros. I'm be listening to you, and you are a good daddy for real. You are a big daddy. I can see that you are a good daddy at home. I regard you. I wish I can be like you. Let me put it that way. Maybe you might even be my mentor. You understand, sir? You
Follow him. You will learn a lot.
Of course, yes. I'm going to follow him straight up. Your last words, phrase, and clause you were just, explaining, almost explain my question that I wanted to ask. But still, I want to ask it. You see, you talked about that was, let me say, about the beginning of your, your discussion. You said your wife even changed the tires of your car, and just like she's a good wife, the way you put it. Now, fine. My question goes like this. What will you say to those men that maybe when their wife start acting like a kind of, maybe the wife peradventure changed the tire of the car even without letting them know, the wife is now like to them acting masculine in the home. You see, most of them, they peradventure break up. They say, my wife just they do like say, now he can be the man for the house. She just they do everything like saying that she can't even marry me. Then you see the problem now leads to breaking up of the home. What will you say to those men? I don't know if you get my question right.
The problem, women are very smart. Let me tell you, that's not the problem. You see, men don't talk a lot. If you don't bring a knife, let them stay.
Okay, Daniel, please resend your request.
Women are smart people, very smart people. Yeah. Whenever they are trying to nail a man, they paint the picture in a way, because men don't come out to talk about their problems. That's not the problem. The problem is that woman has been running a parallel government. Let me be honest with you. Whenever you see there's no man that wouldn't like the wife changing tires. There's no man that wouldn't like the wife buying things in the home. But the problem is that those women they have been doing more than what we just discussed. They are running a parallel government. They don't carry their husbands along. Their husband don't know how much they earn. Their husband can't see their account. They spend their own money. They don't care about, they just do their own. No, divine, no. That he said no. They do their own things. Yeah, but when they want to frame it, they will say, because I'm doing this, dig deeper, you find out the real thing. There's no man that wouldn't like the wife to support. Would you like her to use the money elsewhere? She's helping you. But the problem is that it is always framed to demonize the man. So whenever you hear such things, dig deeper. The man is unaware of the whole thing that happening in the home, but they will look for the one that they did inside the house to use it as a reference point. So don't be carried away. Just dig. You might find out something deeper than you thought.
Okay. All right, Danny, are you done?
Even no. According to me.
Yeah, my other question I wanted to ask also ask, please. You know,
Go
women
ahead.
will say they will say, my money is my money, your money is our money. What do you think about that, bros?
They are not
That's my
really
last question.
they are wives, they are
All
knives.
right.
You're talking about these knives. They're talking about knives. These people are not wives, they are knives. Any woman with such a mentality is a knife to the man. Yeah. She's a knife. So many men are married to knives in their homes. So unfortunately, that's the real situation. When a man marries a knife, that's where the problem lies. I,
Okay, sir.
women are
We'll
quick.
take
Okay.
we'll take Queen Amina's question, and I think that will be the last question we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, sir. Queen Amina, go ahead.
Yes, yeah, like the question I want to ask is actually two. The first one I want to ask is with the high rate of divorce, with a lot of bitter people all over the world and stuff like that, when people come up and start saying there's no benefit of marriage, I, for a woman, I know there's a benefit. So, Uncle X, is there any benefit? Do you think marriage is beneficial to men? Because a lot of men will argue that they can have children without getting married, they can get knacking, they can get all these benefits without actually getting married. So, is there any benefit for marriage for men?
Yeah.
That's my first question that I want to ask. Yeah.
So the benefit of marriage is what you're seeing here now. Yeah. Having a structure where she can grow up. You see? You can see what she's doing there.
Yeah.
So having a structured environment where she can grow up, that is the benefit of marriage. A disciplined environment where both of us are committed to ensure that she grew up, where there are rules and regulations, where there are boundaries, where she can grow up in a discipline to become a responsible person to the society. Yeah, you can do that. But when you have children that now become visitors to their lives, then you've created unbalanced adults. So it gives that marriage gives that legitimization, that legality for a man and woman to stay together to raise children who are responsible in the society.
Okay, thank you, sir. And the last question I want to ask, Angel Key wanted to ask as well. How can a man balance relationship between his wife and his mother? Because most times his wife fighting mother-in-law and all this thing, and the man is in between both women. So how can a man manage that really well? Thank you.
Number one, women see their husbands as strangers. It's unfortunate. It's the unfortunate thing. Women see their husbands as strangers. So I've also seen it in my own wife that if a man, so I've realized that women will always love their biological family more than your family. So if a man can just tell himself, just tell yourself, get your mind off it. You can't separate them. That's number one. You can't separate your wife's biological family from her. So the earlier you get your mind off that and just let her do what she wants to do with them, the better for you. So that's what I've done. I don't care. I don't put my mind. In fact, I don't care what.
No, sir. The question is
I'm going to
the
answer that
wife
one.
and
I'm going to answer that one. I'm going to answer that one.
All right.
So number one for a man, because it's also a problem. We saw that 2 nights ago. A lady came because the mother-in-law and the husband can actually agree. The husband and her mother are fighting each other. So I have these cases every day. This happened 2 nights ago. And for me, don't get involved in your wife, anything between your wife and her family. She can't love you more than her family, unfortunately. Her family is number one point, the number one people in her life. Then followed by her children are number one, her family number two, you come number three. Unfortunately, men find it difficult to accept, but it's the truth. Her children, your children are your children are your wife's number one priority. Number two, her family. Number three, you. So if men can understand that, and get your hands off. I'm not asking men to do that. I don't care what my wife. I used to give the mother money and all those things. I hands off some years ago. Say whatever you want to give to your parents, give them. I don't care. But again, remember that for me to do that, maybe I was a bit more comfortable than I used to be financially. But I just don't interfere. I don't get involved. I don't care because I noticed that she spend any spare time she has, she calls them. She spends most of the time. Then number two, also realized that I was worried that she didn't call my sisters, didn't call my mother as often as possible. If I compare with that, so and my people were also complaining. So I just one day took decision, called my mother, called my sisters. I'm your brother. I'm your only brother. I'm your only son. My wife is a stranger. Anything you want, focus on me. If she doesn't call you, it's fine. She calls you, it's fine. Just don't worry. Remember, she's not your child. She's just my wife, and I'm your brothers. If you want anything, call me. Don't talk to her. And from there they ignored her. And anytime she calls, it's fine. She doesn't call, it's fine. And I don't call. I don't bother if she calls my mother or she doesn't call. I don't bother if she calls my sister. She doesn't call. It's none of my business. I don't even bother. So men, you see here, there's a lot of emotional detachment you need to do in your head to get your marriage to work. You need to take some abrupt decisions. And number one, I also took a decision. Your mother is not my mother, unfortunately. So I call when I feel like calling. I do it for them Christmas. I give them money, whatever I need to do. I don't owe you any obligation to call or not to call. I call when I'm supposed to call. But just manage your relationship with your people. I manage with mine. And there is peace. Spend whatever. I don't care what you spend on them. It's not my business. Just give them. I don't want to know. All I can tell you, we have 4 children. We have to save for their education. We have to save for their future. If you want to, if you feel like you spend all the money in your nephews, because I see nephews, she is more worried. She'll be more worried about her nephews, her nieces than my own sisters. So I noticed that, and to avoid all this back and forth, I push those things out of the way. I don't care how much she gives or she doesn't give, who she pays money, she doesn't pay. I don't care. I don't know. I don't want to know. Okay, but remember, I had to do it when I was comfortable. Then number two, the dynamics. I've already touched the dynamics between mother-in-law. I've told my mom, I'm your only son, quite all right, but she's not your daughter. Because sometimes I notice that each time I didn't call her mom, she won't call my mom. I notice that I call my mom and say, look, get her off your mind. You have 3 daughters. One died 2 years ago. Just ignore that she doesn't exist. She's not. Anything you want, I'm your child. Call me. Forget about her. My sisters, I told them the same. And happy days. I don't care if she calls my people. She doesn't call. It's not my business. And I don't need to get her involved. And it just... So we are running... I did some measures that I think have guaranteed peace. You have to be pragmatic. You have to be practical. Trying to reconcile, to do this, no, because she will also be showing you, I call this, I don't call this, I don't know, I cut off. In as much as I will encourage them to have a good relationship, whether she calls my mom, she doesn't call, I don't care. I don't know if you understand. I don't really care, not even for a second. I don't care if she calls my sister, she doesn't call. They don't need to call her for anything. If they want to call her, fine. They don't want to call her, it's fine. I don't owe her sisters any. Thank you. I don't owe her sisters any obligation either. Okay, to call them or not to call them or that. I don't. Anytime I feel like, I call.
So we have a couple of questions. I don't know. Can you still take them?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. I think there's somebody in the box already wanted to. Okay, I have some few questions in the comment section that I would want you to take. Somebody is asking, say, please, sir, can a married woman build a house without her husband knowing?
No, my wife would have done that. That's respect. I'm going to start the project in the next 1 or 2 weeks. She's been waiting for me for 3 years. That's a good woman. Her mother's house, her parents' house is leaking. But she has enough money to do it, but she can't do it. Because she knows me, she knows my. As much as I give you free hand, that's crossing a Rubicon. If you do that, that will destroy a marriage. So she's still leaving me to do it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to do it. She's been waiting and I have to do it myself. If I see that you've done that, then obviously you've I don't care when they have sick, pay hospital bills, give them money monthly. But when you now begin to do capital projects, obviously now you've crossed the Rubicon, you've crossed the red line, which I will react on. I'll take away many privileges and subject you to. I won't fight you, but I'll subject you to serious serious stress that you won't have any money left in your pocket at the end of the month.
Wow. Thank you so much. Somebody is asking, when are you launching your books? Do you have a book coming?
Yeah, I'm writing a book, but it's, I work as well. I work 9 to 5. Then in the evening, I come. If I don't come, people will be calling me. You're not online today. You're coming today. So, yeah, people need to use wisdom to deal with marriage. You don't win. You know the problem. People fight. People win fights and lose the war. People want to win every fight in the marriage, then they lose the war. So people want to win every fight in the marriage, then lose the war at the end of the day. So you choose your fights, live some, lose some, so that you can win the war. And winning the war is keep your marriage going. So you need to do, when I say that my wife is the best woman, it doesn't mean that she's the best woman. It means that I have decided to adjust in so many areas to accommodate her. Yeah? You get what I mean? I've just decided to adjust in so many areas. Take pragmatic decisions. And look, and again, I don't have any expectation from her as well in anything. That's me. So I've just done something which many men don't understand. I do something.
Yeah, Ukono, send your request. He said he can still take a question. Send your request.
I did something. Let me tell you something I've done. I made her almost useless to me. Like, what do I mean? I don't depend on her for anything apart from food. You know why I don't include tatata? She knows I can get tatata. It is the easiest thing for me to get. So I don't depend on her for anything at all, not even one thing. So the only thing, that's why I said her cooking for me is a favor done to her, for her to remain relevant in my life. So if men can get to this point where you can have not too much expectation from another human being, do things for yourself. If you need tea, go into the kitchen, get tea. You need coffee, do coffee. So I buy a lot of clothes. I have clothes. I don't wash clothes in 2 years. I buy lots of clothes. The only thing that she washes are my, maybe, the shirts I wear at home. You don't need to wash clothes for me. You don't need to do anything for me. I clean my office. I clean my house. So what are you doing for me? Nothing. I don't want you to do anything for me. So if I incapacitate you to a point where the only dependency is food, and if you don't cook the food, I buy. I'll pay somebody 200 or 300 pounds a month or 400 pounds. They cook food and I stock in the fridge. So what? A month of 400 pounds. So,
Yeah, Ndewo, sir. I wouldn't want you to say Ndewo. You know you're my friend, but I'm going to ask you a direct question today. Yeah, because
Sir,
if you ask me this in Ndewo now,
I believe you know Ukono. The way you already greeted the wind, you know him.
Okon is one of the men I have respect for on TikTok. Now let me tell you the men I respect on TikTok. Okon, Unfiltered, Kanayo. These are the men I always talk about him everywhere. Okon, Unfiltered, Kanayo, Moneth, Uncle Ken, because he's consistent, or maybe Mr. Pritchard. But I respect Okon is my younger brother, but I respect him so much because he's so intelligent. People don't understand him. People hear things he says, but I read meanings into what he says. He's so, one of the things that Okono talks about that people don't understand it. I choose my wife. He calls them, I choose my prey. People think so he's looking for. No, what he meant is that he chose people who can submit to his leadership, people he can manage. And that is what marriage is. Someone that can live with you. It's as simple as that. You don't want to marry somebody that cannot live with you. And yes, you now want to bend the person in the marriage. So, Okono.
Okay, okay, sir. Can you pause, please? I want to ask you this question, and this question goes this way. I know you are a respected man, a polygamous in nature, but you are directly a polygamous man who has one wife. Now, this question is this: for the betterment, for better understanding, is it your incapability or your ability of getting multiple wives that made you to stick with one wife, or is it that your wife is the one that dictated for you not to marry wives anymore?
How can a woman dictate for me?
Did,
My wife is listening. How can a woman dictate for me? This kind of question you're asking her, dictate for me as what? How can she dictate for me? Okokono, let me lecture people on the polygamous nature of man. The polygamous nature of man is that thing that makes you want to have multiple women under your control, under your influence. You want to look after multiple men, multiple women. Yeah? And the manifestation. So one of the ways, what you just described here, marrying two wives is one of the ways the polygamous nature of man manifests. A man can decide to have these women under his roof. Yeah, that is one of the ways the polygamous nature of man manifests. Another way is having them as concubines or side chicks. That is another way a man's polygamous nature manifests. Another way is having emotional relationship with them, supporting them emotionally. Okay. Another one is supporting them, financially, supporting them, solving problems for them so that they can give you loyalty. Yeah, so marrying multiple wives, keeping them under the roof, is one of the ways the polygamous nature of man manifests. There are several other ways. Concubines, supporting them financially without sleeping with them, taking care of their needs without sleeping with them. Now, Okono, I don't have the need, the primary reason for marrying. And remember, a man is naturally polygamous because a man has the tendency to want to keep multiple women under his sphere of influence. But again, you have a choice to do that or not to do that. So monogamy is a choice. By marrying one woman, a man has decided to suppress his humanity, to suppress his nature. Monogamy is not the default nature of man. You're not talking.
Unmute, please. I muted because no.
Who can you muted?
Who can no unmute?
Okay, let me continue saying what I was saying.
okay. From what you just said, you said monogamy is a choice. Yes, I agree that 100%. I know that always. But now, I want to ask you this direct question. So,
let me
why
finish
are you
answering
with
that
one
question.
wife?
Okay, why am I with one wife? The primary reason why a man is married to have children. The primary reason why a man, and I wanted 4 children. I didn't have a brother. So I always wanted a brother for my first son. I wanted a sister for my second. I have 4 children, and I'm very, very pleased with them. I don't need to marry 2 wives. Now, the only reason why I will marry a second wife, the only reason is I don't want to stay in this code. The code doesn't work for me. I'm really sick now coming to this program. I don't want to stay here. I want to go back to Nigeria in the next 10 years. And if you know the way the children born here and brought up here, their mind is, I don't know, I don't think they will want to come back home. So I might end up in a nursing home. Yeah, listen, sir. Listen. I might end up in a nursing home. Yeah. So it is possible that I may marry another wife. I'm not hiding it. I've told my wife I may marry another wife in Nigeria for the purpose of procreating my own children back home. But Okono, I don't need to marry a second wife if I do not want to. I have 4 children, and what am I looking for? I already have 4 children. What am I? I mean, I've got 2 boys, 2 girls. So do I need to? I'm happy with the number I have, but for me to go back to Nigeria and these children end up not coming to visit me, I think it will be a problem for me.
Who can
Okay.
ask you next question?
Yes. This question is this. What if I put it to you that you are scared of your wife? That's why you can't be able to get another wife.
So can I drop Ukono now?
No.
I just
No, I have another question.
He's asking a
No, I have
valid
another question.
He's asking a valid question. Okono,
Oh my God.
head of a woman that I married, a woman who I married, as what? There's something
To me, you're scared. To me, you're scared. To me, you're scared.
No, yeah, it's okay. You can say whatever you want. See, Okono, let me tell you something. As much as we talk on social media, it's also very important that we respect the women we live with. Yeah, you can't just be saying, "Oh, my wife can't do this to me, can't do this to me, can't do this to me." You also have to respect her that she has feelings. You understand what I mean? She has feelings. She's a human being. So in as much as we say the things we say on social media, and she's listening to you, she's in the house listening to you. It's also very, very important that I just give her respect as a woman. So there are many things I should not say. But okay, no. I married my wife, okay, and I do not. She doesn't have the right to dictate for me if I want to marry another wife or otherwise. It's not within her right. The only thing, hold on. The only thing I owe her, according to my tradition as an Ungwa man, is to inform her, which I have done. But it is not in her position to tell me women in our culture. But again, Okono, remember that we also just need to be a bit respectful. Yeah, women are human beings like us, and I'm so educated to respect people's, to just have a little respect for people. Yeah, this is a woman here anchoring the program, and in as much as we want to appear tough, you just need to also understand that women have feelings. Yeah, they are human beings that they are beginning to question a lot. Why should they be under you? So we don't need to continue rubbing it on their faces. So you don't have a choice. That's what we do by doing that.
God
So
bless you, sir.
so
This is
we
one
don't
thing I admire so much
yeah,
about
so
you.
hold on, hold on. I'm so educated. God, I'm so educated. I mean, I have a lot of academic qualifications, and I've done a lot in social sciences. In as much as we know that they cannot be in our way of stopping us to do what we want to do. Yeah, but this is the woman you sleep with all the time. This is the woman that cooks for you, the woman that looks after your children. You can't just be telling her you mean nothing to me. That is exactly what we do. By the time we take it, so I'm conscious of that. And I cannot just be, I can't be afraid of any human being, talk less of my wife, but I can't just be talking as if she doesn't. I'm just saying,
Matter.
I can't just say that she doesn't
Thank
matter.
you, sir.
You need to
Thank you so much.
you need to be because Okon, do you know why? Okon, do you know why? Let me tell you. My wife listens to the things I say. Sometimes she's worried, yeah, about the things I say because she's a human being, and she tells me. So she will not tell me, but I notice. So she's not the type of person to confront me, but I'll see change in her body language. Then I'll start asking, "What is the problem?" She just say, "Well, I didn't like the way you talked about me on TikTok." So she's my wife. She's a woman that does everything to support me, to look after my children, to take care of me, to serve me when other women are rebelling. Yeah, she cooks for me. She cooks for me twice every day, fresh food, twice every day. So the way to say thank you to her when she knows her right, and she's very, very well educated as well. I mean, she studied in the UK here, so you can't just come and tell her you mean nothing. And I'm not going to continue. I think one thing we need to be doing every day is evaluation. We evaluate what we're doing, and I won't continue to say things that would disrespect her or disrespect.
Thank you so much, sir. Ukonu, one last
I
question so
have
our guests can go and
yes,
rest.
I have another
Thank you.
question. Yes, I have another question. But before I ask this question, I have an observation.
Yes.
Host, please, I put it to you that you are a wheelbarrow. You know why I call you wheelbarrow? A wheelbarrow is something that object that you can only push when you want or when you do not want. You have a host who is speaking fantastically. You don't wanna clap, and until your guest or your comment session in FYP commanded you to clap, that is when you realize you need to clap. That is not a very good characteristics of being a good host. So on this part, I put it to you: you failed the host, and you need to go back and to primary school to learn how to host. So now, Kwasa, this question is: what are the characteristics of men who are simple? Because for you, sir, I put it to you. You look like a simple. You know why I called you a simple? I used to watch you. I used to watch you. How you used to do dishes, cooking and whatsoever. Would I say you are romantically, or you are just a lover boy, a pleaser to make your wife to be comfortable? If I call you a simp and a weak man, how will you react to that, sir?
Yeah.
Ukonu, are you done with your question? Can I bring you
You
down?
my sister. Are you in a hurry?
No, I'm not.
No, so
I'm just.
what you call me what anybody calls me doesn't really matter. So it's what I call myself that matters. I know myself. Now, one thing men should understand, Okonu, in as much as we're doing these programs every day, you see women complaining, lamenting. You see them lamenting, complaining every day. We should not forget the fundamental principles of. We should not forget the fundamental principles of marriage. Number one, I am not. My headship is not contestable. I am the head of the family, the undisputed head of the family. I'm your Lord and personal Savior on earth here. As far as we're in the marriage, I am the Lord. I'm the Alpha and the Omega on earth here in the marriage. Okay, you are under me. I don't do partnership. Okay, no partnership. I don't. We are not equals in the marriage. We are equal people in the society, but I am your head. As far as you said yes, you're going to marry me, you decided that I'm going to dump my culture and come and take up your culture. I'm going to come and take up your name. You are under me. Sub means coming under. Mission is that you've now agreed to come and achieve my own objectives. Now, okay, I have what part of education is to understand this the people. Women are educated. They have the same education as us, and you cannot cage them. They are not animals. They are human beings. You have to also respect their feelings. Okay, you have to create a culture of belonging. And that culture of belonging is not just giving them a seat at the table. It's not just letting their voices to be heard. You also need to carry their opinions forward. Sometimes. Everybody enjoys winning. You also need to let them win sometimes. So I want to create a culture of belonging. However, I also have the right to withdraw the rights and privileges when you disrespect my authority. Okay, I'm going to withdraw that now. Okono, I have a woman who has given me 4 children in the UK. No house help, no house boy, nobody to help. Guys, tap on the screen for this lady, please. Tap on the screen. So no house help, no house boy. She does the same 9 to 5 that I do. If she works harder than me, her calendar is full every day. She wakes up in the morning. She prepares our little son to go to school. As she's waking up, this one is waking. As she's coming back, this one has woken up. She prepares breakfast, changes her. She jumps on her desk. She's in meetings all through the day. Okay, 12 o'clock, she jumps out. She prepares my lunch. 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, these people are back. She starts cooking something for them. Okay, maybe there's dancing that day. She goes for dancing. There's ice skating. She takes that one to ice skating. There's football. When I'm not chance, she does all these things. Okay, now a weak man, and maybe she has a training she's doing in the evening to improve herself. A weak man will just sit down there. I'm a man because you're Bola. You sit down there and the house is dirty. You just sit down there and say, I'm the man. I'm the man. The house you live in, you won't clean it. My brother, that is an irresponsible man. You have to support your wife in any way you can support. Okay, I paid for this house. Yeah? I paid for this house. And I live here. You're not doing it for her. You live in the house. So you see me every night. I do it. When they go upstairs, I come around because I have a little daughter who scatters everywhere. So normally around 8, 9 o'clock, my wife will be tired. She goes to put that one to bed and she sleeps off to wake up again in the morning, maybe come out in the morning to cook or do something or do laundry or a lot of things to do. A responsible man should see what the wife is doing. She is a human being. You being a wife doesn't make her a tiger or tigress. You jump in whatever you can do to make her, to support her. Okon, you're a married man with kids, so you understand what I'm talking about. Let me finish, sir. You understand what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't understand. At this point, I don't understand.
So you understand
You
that
have to
women,
make.
so you understand that women go through a lot in. Now imagine your wife just had a baby. Few months later, she was diagnosed of cancer, and you're telling me that you're and you know that this cancer came from having a baby and other complications. You're telling me you're a man, you sit down there and watch her struggle. A man. for her to be alive to help you. You know, until your wife travels for 1 day or two, you don't understand what women do. So, God, what do you? Let me see, let me tell you. Some of the things I do now, I saw them when I now. Sometimes my wife will travel for work and leave you with 4 children. You now understand what this woman is doing. No be person will tell you that you need to help. So, called a simp. Let me answer you now. A simp is that man who sits by claiming to be a man, not to do things that he's supposed to do in the home. Remember, you're not helping your wife. You should do things at home because you're living in that house. Again, okay, let me remind them. A man, your wife is not your slave. Your wife is an adult who came to support you. So you should also do everything to keep her alive. So anything you do in your house, you're not helping your wife. You are doing your responsibility. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
All right. I have another one more question before I go. Firstly, it's going to come in like it's going to be like two questions in one. Firstly, what do you have to say with those ladies who try to impress their husband by putting a multitude of makeups and wearing a fake hair? Example is host. That is number one question. Then number two question is this: is it your irresponsibility or the fear factor, the fear of unknown, that makes you to claim, self-acclaim that you are a responsible man? For me, I don't see any responsibilities that qualifies you as a responsible man. I see a fear factor and it's something that trying to be a pleasing boy, just to make yourself be happy. That is why you claim that you're a husband material. For me, I don't see you as one of the people who is husband material. So what will you say on that
You
on
have
that
two
regards?
more questions. Two more questions to go, and we are done with you, so that Oga Ike can go and rest. He has been
You
here
see,
for more than an hour.
Life is full of preferences. Why women put this hair they put on is convenient for them. It's easy. They're going to sit down at a place to braid their hair. For me, my wife wears this thing, but my wife don't. I don't naturally for me as a man. I've told you this. I don't like women that make up. I don't like it. I like women natural. But as she is now, I like
So
the way
what
she. Hold on, now make I talk now. Hold on.
what will you say to the host that is wearing makeup?
So as she did now, I go one knock am if she give me. Yeah, I go knock. But I won't marry a woman. I don't like. Again, if I look at her behavior, again, as we are growing, you can also look beyond. Me, I go knock. Yeah, but I like my women natural. I don't like women that wear makeup. However, she's not putting a lot of makeup. She looks almost natural. Yeah, so she's not that bad. But my own take is that why I like women natural is that women that are natural are mostly not materialistic. Yeah. When a woman doesn't care much about clothes, she's not materialistic. And when you have a woman that's not materialistic, which means you're not going to have money about problems of money, this and that. Yeah. So, but again, these are preferences, what people like. I'm not going to comment too much on what people like. But for me, my own preference is that I like my wife not to wear makeup. Wig is because the woman, they don't have the time to go and sit down, do hair, and they also want to change as much as possible to do that. Then you ask the second question, if am I afraid of anybody? Okay, I've answered you that question. Your wife, you've not only produced the sperm. This woman carried children for 9 months. Like for me now, 4 of them. Your wife has to, carried all these women and is raising these children. Doesn't stay awake at night. Doesn't stay. Stays awake at night. My brother, have you sorted socks for 4 children? Socks, underpants, and their clothes, their home clothes, everything, and put them in their compartments where they can go and take them. You wash, you dry, you now begin to sort them to put them. Women are doing a whole lot of things. So any responsible man should be there to make life easier for the wife. So if that is what should make me a weak man, a fearful man, I am happy to be a fearful man. Every man should support his wife. That is what a man should do.
Ukonu, last question. Thank you so much for today. Just go ahead with your last question. On mute. You're muted.
All right. Host, thank you very much. Host, as not host, sorry. Mr. X. Now I have two questions I'm going to ask you. This question number one is that what would you say about those African ladies? For example, I'll use Igbo culture as a context. What would you say about the African ladies who came from the origin of Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa? But if you ask them, "Nnegene Bahage, what is your name?" They'll tell you Blessing Podcast. Irresponsibility of asking somebody's name, because from the context where they come from, they need to answer Nkechi, Chedemma. So what would you tell to those ladies who use the basis of Western names to identify themselves? Is that identical crisis, or trying to prove a point? That is number one question. Then number two question before I go down is this. Host, what would you say about women who says that if men are polygamous in nature, the women are also polyandry in nature? Now, host, this is a direct question to you. What would you say, in as much as you are claiming, you claim, self-claim? No, sorry, EK, every question goes to the EKS. What would you say that those people that those women that claim that if men are polygamous in nature, they are also polyandry in nature? Now, let's assume, since you claimed that you're a responsible man, that is your claim, which I do not subscribe to that. When you claim that you're a responsible man and you're not a weak man, you're a husband material, I disagree with you. I don't see those values in you. But now let's put it in a context that what you claim there is actually reality. And the same acclaimed wife that you are trying so much hard to protect now decides to date and tell you, Mr. EKS, that I have this right of a polyandry nature, that I want to marry more husbands, including you. What would be your reaction, sir? Thank you very much.
Number one,
All right, thank you. I'm bringing Ukonu down, sir. We are done with Ukonu's question.
You don't need to bring him down. You don't need to bring him down. Number
No,
one.
when he's done with his question, I just have to jump in.
Number one. What he was talking about, people. I mean, many people don't want to show their real names on TikTok. You know, so it's a social media platform. You can answer whatever you want to answer. My name is not X Steven. You know, so it's not my name, but although it's my name somehow, but it's not my name. It's not my official name. So you don't really want to. I've been on social media for a long time, so I know you can just protect your identity as much as you can. That's number one. Number two, that doesn't make people answering any kind of name doesn't make them westernized or that they have any cultural identity disorder. I think, you know, abusing your own culture, talking down your own culture is actually what we should be worried about. You know, trying to, you know, abuse our culture, talk down on our culture, I think is what I would be worried about. I wouldn't be worried about what people decide to answer. So far as people are proud of their own culture and are willing to learn their cultural heritage, then that's good. I don't have any problem with whatever anybody answers. This is not real life. This is social media space. Then the other one about women being polyandry, it is not in my position to tell a woman whether she's polygamous in nature or she's not polygamous in nature. However, one thing I know is that a woman is not the same thing as a man. We should not be making that same this thing. A man doesn't have an off day. A woman has off days. You know, the day she had a baby, she can't have intercourse with a man. For the next 6 months to 1 year, you know, mammary glands will be producing milk. So a man cannot make full use of them. And a woman is not a man. And even if we look at sexually, biologically, and if you also look at the society, a woman has never built a society before. Number two, a woman can also not, I mean, they are struggling to stay with one man. You know, how can they now accommodate? So how can, I mean, let's look at reality, let's look at practicality. No woman has been able to stay with multiple men. So it becomes impracticable to, very, very impracticable to, thank you, whoever gave me a gift. It is impracticable. It's impracticable for a woman to marry. I mean, women cannot even handle one man. So how can you not handle multiple men? It's not but a man, there's history, there's evidence that a man can manage 100 wives. I've seen people that have 80 wives, so and they manage them comfortably. And a woman cannot manage one man. So how can we be equal? Women and men are just totally different species. We are different creatures. And again, it's just delusion of the grandest order for anyone to say you menstruate. We don't menstruate. We don't have an off day. We are willing at any point in time to do things. And a woman doesn't just have the ability to organize men and put them in terms of emotional, that she doesn't have that emotional capacity to manage multiple men, and her biology doesn't support that. So, but as well, I mean, if you look at all the other animals as well, the man is always there to organize. Like I said, people should understand that being polygamous does not just mean having multiple sex partners. Being polygamous is that nature to want to organize multiple women under his area of influence, and that's what it is.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. We've learned a whole lot today. So I just want you to round up by sharing with us what something else you want to educate our men. Because guys, if you are a man here today, please follow EKS. You need to learn how to be a man from him. You need to learn leadership from him. Because with him, I feel like my father is educating me. So follow him, guys. Follow him and go learn. So please, what do you want to just round up with?
Nothing to say apart from that. You give 100% in your marriage. I think if you look at, I don't need to talk to men so much. I need to talk to women. 75% of divorces are initiated by women, and women are the people leaving their marriages. And the majority of the reason why our African women are leaving their marriages is that we've grown apart, lack of commitment. So I think we're leaving marriages for flimsy excuses. Marriage is a place of, it's work. Work is a place of where you do work, and love comes from you satisfying the needs of your spouse. Marriage is not a place where the French feelings of emotions rule. Yeah, okay, no, I understand what you did, no problem. And me, I know you, so there's no problem. Just try to challenge me, so it's fine. So let me say this: what you put into your marriage is what you're going to. Stay away from friends. Again, I'm going to say some things that controversial. If you want to keep your marriage last, choose friends. You're as a married woman, if your closest friends are divorcees who left their marriages due to flimsy excuses, your marriage will collapse. Show me 3 millionaires and you become, be friends with 3 billionaires and you become the fourth one. So when we talk about this, people don't like it. Yeah, people don't like it. People don't like it. So. Okay, the one problem I understood what you were just trying to provoke a discussion. I'm very, very cool about that. So be careful about who you engage with. Then if you come into a marriage, just give your all. Give your all. I mean, I don't know what this. I always ask people that 50% you're keeping, are you taking it to heaven? Give your all, and create an environment where both of you can just grow and enjoy yourselves. That's for me. Where you can grow, enjoy yourselves, and again, be careful about who you. Thank you, Mr. Tiger. Be careful about who you listen to on social media. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, sir. We are so grateful to have you. Trust me, I learned a whole lot. And I know everybody have just been commenting the land. Thank you. I knew we were going to learn anyway. Thank you so much, sir, for the time you spent with us.
Somebody says, please give your all, even if a guy is cheating. The problem is that women like lies. Let me touch on this before I go. A man is naturally polygamous, yeah? As Africans, please understand, you can't just be using foreign values to validate African culture. An African man, I've heard this poll so many times on my platform. African men don't believe in cheating. They don't call it cheating. So you can continue calling it cheating from now till tomorrow. They don't believe in what you believe. However, I believe that a woman can control how her husband behaves. Thank you so much. A woman can control how the husband behaves. Do your job, fulfill your responsibilities in a marriage, and your husband can I mean, we are human beings. You know, like you heard what I told you, Corner. We can't just continue making reckless comments on social media. Our wives are listening. They are human beings. I mean, sometimes some of the things we say are disrespectful to them. So you can't just continue making those comments. So your wife will understand. Yeah, your wife will understand that you know, if you do your job, a man will look at you. I'm hurting this woman. This woman does A, B, C, D. So this woman does A, B, C, D, E, F for me. I don't need to treat her bad. The conscience begins to come in. Now I'm asking you, what do you give to the man that should make him? Now ask yourself, what should a man remember you for? Let me ask the ladies this question and I'll close. What is it that a man will remember you for? Yeah? And he's about penetrating another woman. He says, no, I'm doing bad to my wife. What is it that he's going to remember you for? It's a big question. What is he remembering you for? What is it what role do you play in his life? Is he going to remember that you don't give him sex? Is he going to remember that you don't give him food? Is he going to remember that you disrespect him? Is he going to remember that you're not loyal to him? Is he going to remember that you don't give him peace? Is he going to remember that you don't honor him? Now let me tell you, my dear sister, any woman who does not respect the authority of the husband, who is not agreeable, who cannot compromise, who cannot communicate effectively, who cannot listen to the husband, who cannot be loyal to the husband with her body and her resources, who cannot humble herself before the husband, you have given your husband the license to roam. You may argue as much as you want. If you do not submit to the leadership of your husband, you have given him the license to roam. Do not complain when he goes out there. Do your bit, and there is no time frame. Continue doing your bit. One day you will recognize. Let's not do things and say he's not doing his part. Continue doing your own. One day he will look at this and say, I've been bad to this woman. I did the same. Without nagging. Nagging does not change a man. Fighting back does not change a man. Shouting does not change a man. What changes a man is he looks at you, you're still humble. Upon all these my bad behaviors, this woman is still a good woman. Oh boy, make I not hurt my wife. Let me tell you something. A friend, I saw him in church today. Him and the wife did something wrong in Nigeria. I'm not going to go into details. Something that men cannot forgive. So the guy moved over here. The ex-wife and the husband calling him. So he met a girl here. They fell in, they began ta. The girl got pregnant, now has a baby for him. The ex-wife is now sending messages and everything. And I said, oh boy, this one way and this lady attack like this. Bless you, go get 2 wives. So, you know what he tell me about this new girl he met here? Let me tell you this. Women, listen to this. She said, but I can't hurt this girl. I can't go back to her. I said, why? He said, oh boy, I know feel hurt this girl. That this girl, she's marrying here now. You don't go marry the girl. But he said, I can't hurt this girl. I said, why? He said, she's too good. Remember, they've not been together for more than 1 year. They've not been together more than 1 year. Then he said, I cannot hurt this girl. In fact, he told me yesterday, he wants to buy her a Range Rover. You don't need to, a man, you don't need to. He said, I cannot hurt. Imagine a man said, I cannot hurt this girl. She's too good for me. Continue doing your own part. Many of you, the only thing is that you're like Jonah. Many women are like Jonah. You go and drop the message, you now go and sit under a tree. You're waiting for Nineveh to be destroyed. Continue doing your wife. My wife has been doing it for ages. All girls call me at night and all those things. She continued being who she is. At some point, I said, wow, I'm doing this woman bad. I quit by myself. But many of you believe that you shout, you nag. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to chase you out of it. It doesn't stop a man from doing what you do. In fact, anytime you nag a man, you strengthen him. Yeah? Thank you so much. Call me. So, continue being a good woman. Your goodness one day will touch the man. And you say, no, I can't do this to a woman. But that's my own suggestion. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. We are grateful. We are so glad we have you here. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. My greetings to
Where
the
you
family. I'm from Edo State. I'm Asan. Thank you, sir. Thank you
What's your
so
name?
much.
Oh, your name is Blessing.
Blessing. Yes, my name is Blessing.
No, I enjoyed it. I know what Okonokon was just trying to get. He wasn't being rude or anything. He was just trying to get me to
So yeah,
answer difficult questions, which I really appreciate.
thank you so much, sir.
The guy called Mandy here. What's Mandy saying? Yeah, Mandy, you understood what I said immediately. The woman did that kind of a thing, and men don't forgive that. But she said, he told me, oh boy, I know if you forgive. I know if you forgive. If I don't buy house for the girl already, sir. You don't buy house.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
I bet Mona connect me to those kind men. Oh. Thank you so much, sir. I'm so grateful.
If you're ready to marry, you find a husband. So you need to adopt the attitude of someone. You need to have the passion, the hunger, the behavior to get married. And I think you're good. I don't need to see you so many times. You have all the nature, in you. However, are you hungry enough? Are you passionate enough? You need to put yourself out there to say, I want to get married. So because if you're not knocking, nobody will open for you. So you need to put yourself out there to talk about, and one of the ways to do it is to continue avoid toxic feminist discussions, making all those contributions. It scares men away. But I think you got the nature. You have the elements so just mixed in you. Your smile, you're beautiful as well as a black woman.
Thank you.
You have to show that willingness and give yourself the best. Men are looking. Let me tell you something, Blessing, before I go. Women are scarce as men are scarce. There are so many women out there, but women to get married are scarce. Unless a man starts looking, you wouldn't. Women are so scarce. The same way men are scarce. But you need to put your best foot forward all the time. Not once, all the time. All the time. For me, I encourage ladies, avoid certain discussions on social media. Somebody may be watching you for a long time, has sent the mother to watch you here, has sent the father, then they'll be following you, has sent the siblings to watch you. One miscalculation spoils the opportunity. And many young ladies don't know that. Avoid toxic feminist ideologies and just remain, for me, avoid certain discussions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll put that in mind. Mona not call me for feminist discussion again. I'm no longer interested.
No, I say toxic feminist. Toxic
Yes,
feminist.
sir. Exactly. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. My regards to the family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Pleasant night, sir. Wow, guys. It was fun. Okay, sir. All right, sir. Wow, guys. It was beautiful. More than I expected. Oh, thank you all so very much. You guys are dependable. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the gift. Ukono, thank you. Thank you all that came up to ask questions. Thank you all so much for making this segment a very beautiful one. Trust me, I'm not bringing anybody up anymore. I'm exhausted, and so we're going to call it a night. But first of all, before I go, I must say thank you to my team. Guys, I came late. I almost didn't want to come. But one of them called me and just boosted my morale. And wow, I came up. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Thank you. I'm blessed to have you. Guys, I'm blessed to have you both in my life. And say thank you. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you all so much. God bless you. I thank every one of you for supporting. Hi, family of God. Thank you. Thank you, Sandmai. Thank you, Call Me With Thank you, Tega. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Brotherly. Thank you, Favor. You did a great job. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Greatest. Thank you. NJK. Thank you all so much. I can't start calling everybody, but you guys are fantastic. And if I muted you in the course of this program, just know it's because I didn't want you to start throwing insult at my guests. I don't encourage that. I will unmute you after the program. So see you next time. But please do not insult my guests if you come here again. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night rest. Thank you. See you on Thursday. On Thursday, we're having another fantastic segment. So see you guys on Thursday. Love you. Love you all. Bye.